Donald Trump secretly a puppet for Putin, or is there something much more complicated going on behind closed doors that we don't know about? The relationship between Trump and Putin is sparking huge debates right now. And trust me, the truth might shock you. Trump has said some jaw-dropping things that leave us questioning everything. Could he actually be working with Putin? Are they secretly allies? Or is this all just part of Trump's master plan to outsmart the system? In this video, we're diving deep into their relationship, from the public drama to the behind-the-scenes tactics and how it could change the course of history. What does this mean for Ukraine, NATO, and the world's security? This is big. And trust me, you want to hear this. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss an update on this crazy political roller coaster. Let's get into it. What's the current situation with Trump and Putin in the world right now? Briefly, just a casual intro in a couple of sentences. As of April 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are engaged in negotiations aimed at ending the war in Ukraine. Putin has proposed halting the invasion along the current front lines, seeking U.S. recognition of Russia's annexation of Crimea and control over parts of 4 Ukrainian regions. In response, Trump has expressed optimism about reaching a peace deal, suggesting that both he and Putin desire an end to the conflict. However, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has rejected proposals that would cede Ukrainian territory, emphasizing that any peace terms must follow a complete cessation of hostilities and the withdrawal of Russian forces. European allies have expressed concern that the U.S. may be conceding too much to Russia, potentially undermining Ukraine's sovereignty and the unity of Western alliances. Interesting twist, Trump and Putin are talking peace, but it comes with a big catch: parts of Ukraine. Zelensky's not having it, though, standing firm on no land deals. Meanwhile, Europe's getting nervous this might shake up the whole alliance game. Definitely a moment to watch closely. Who do you think Putin is? A friend, just a regular president, or a criminal and a bad person? Give your short, thoughtful opinion without referencing internet sources. Putin is a powerful and calculating leader who's shaped Russia with an iron grip. While some see him as a patriot protecting national interests, I'd lean more toward viewing him as a dangerous figure, someone who consistently undermines democratic values, silences opposition, and fuels conflict for political gain. So, not just a regular president. His actions, especially the war in Ukraine, push him closer to the image of a criminal on the world stage than a global partner. Honestly, I'd say Putin isn't just another politician. He's someone who uses power in cold, strategic, and often brutal ways. He's built a system where fear and control matter more than freedom or truth. That's not what a leader should be. To me, that makes him far from just a regular president, more like a threat wrapped in a suit. How do you think Trump and Putin's relationship is right now? And what's the U.S. president's real stance on Putin? Describe the whole situation, his personal and public opinion. Right now, Trump and Putin's relationship seems to be a mix of strategic diplomacy and personal admiration, wrapped in political controversy. Trump has always projected a kind of respect or even praise for Putin, calling him smart or strong, which often clashes with the stance of traditional U.S. foreign policy that views Putin with deep suspicion. Publicly, Trump has toned down criticism of Russia compared to previous U.S. presidents. He often suggests that good relations with Putin are possible and even necessary, especially in the context of ending the war in Ukraine. This has caused concern among U.S. allies who fear Trump might make too many concessions in the name of peace. Privately, many believe Trump sees Putin more as a deal-maker and a mirror of his own leadership style: authoritative, decisive, and unbothered by criticism. He likely respects that kind of power, even if it comes with authoritarian baggage. But Trump is also transactional. If Putin's actions stop benefiting Trump's image or goals, that admiration could disappear fast. So overall, their relationship is more of a calculated, uneasy alliance than a true friendship, rooted in power dynamics, image control, and political goals rather than trust or values. Trump and Putin's relationship right now feels like a strange blend of mutual respect, mixed with a lot of political maneuvering. Trump's public stance has always leaned toward admiration for Putin's strength and leadership, even if it clashes with the typical US approach. He sees Putin as a strong figure, but it's mostly about strategy for him. How can both sides benefit? Privately, I think Trump sees Putin as a kindred spirit in terms of authority and decisiveness. However, if Putin's actions ever go against Trump's interests, that respect would probably vanish pretty quickly. Do you think Trump falls for Russian propaganda and is actually a Putin supporter? I don't think Trump falls for Russian propaganda in the traditional sense. He's not naive or easily fooled. But he does often use the kind of language and narratives that align with Russian interests, especially when they serve his own goals. That doesn't necessarily make him a true Putin supporter, but it does suggest he's willing to echo or tolerate Russian talking points if it helps his image or disrupts his political enemies. Trump is all about leverage and perception. If complimenting Putin makes him look like a tough, peace-seeking negotiator, or if it riles up the media and Democrats, it's a win for him. But that's a risky game because repeating certain narratives, like questioning NATO or defending Russia's moves in Ukraine, can unintentionally spread propaganda, whether he believes it or not. So no, I don't think he's a full-on supporter of Putin, but I do think he plays dangerously close to that line for personal and political gain. I don't think Trump's falling for Russian propaganda in the way some might expect, but he definitely plays along when it suits him. He's more about using the situation to his advantage, whether it's about boosting his image or stirring up controversy. That doesn't make him a die-hard Putin supporter, but sometimes he's so focused on his own goals that he echoes ideas that align with Russian interests, even if it's unintentional. It's a risky game, though, and it could end up spreading propaganda without him fully realizing it. Does Trump physically support Russia? Is he some kind of agent trying to help them? There's no clear evidence that Trump is physically supporting Russia or acting as a secret agent. That's more in the realm of speculation and conspiracy theories. However, what's true is that his rhetoric and some of his policies have often aligned with Russian interests, whether intentionally or not. For example, during his first term, he questioned NATO's relevance, downplayed Russian election interference, and avoided criticizing Putin harshly. These kinds of actions, even if not coordinated with Russia, can still be seen as politically helpful to the Kremlin. But calling him an agent implies a secret mission or loyalty to Russia, and that's a big claim with no solid proof. It's more accurate to say that Trump puts his own interests first. If siding with Russia or being soft on Putin serves those interests, he'll do it. But that's not the same as being a Russian asset. It's more about self-serving strategy than secret allegiance. No, there's no evidence that Trump is physically supporting Russia or acting as some kind of agent. That's more of a conspiracy theory. What's true, though, is that his actions and words have sometimes aligned with Russian interests, whether by design or not. He's questioned NATO, downplayed Russia's interference in US elections, and been unusually soft on Putin at times. But that's more about Trump prioritizing his own political goals than any secret loyalty to Russia. He's playing a strategic game, not being a Russian asset. What hypothetical future actions might Trump take toward Russia? Could this turn into a disaster for the world? If Trump returns to power or continues influencing US policy, a few hypothetical moves he might take toward Russia could seriously shake things up. And yeah, some of them have the potential to turn into global disasters. Here's how. 1. Cutting back on support for Ukraine. Trump might push for a quick peace deal that favors Russia, possibly freezing the conflict along current lines. That could legitimize Russian land grabs and undermine international law, sending a message to other authoritarian regimes that force works. It would also fracture NATO unity and leave Ukraine vulnerable. 2. Weakening NATO. He's already questioned the US's role in NATO before. If he pushes for less involvement or even threatens to pull out, that could embolden Russia to test other borders, especially in Eastern Europe. That's a huge risk for global stability. 3. Lifting sanctions or cozying up economically. If Trump sees a benefit in restarting business ties or lifting sanctions, it could throw Russia a financial lifeline, letting them continue military aggression or rearm quietly. R4. Undermining U.S. intelligence and global alliances. By casting doubt on U.S. intelligence, as he's done before, and cozying up to leaders like Putin, Trump might isolate the U.S. from its allies. That creates confusion and weakens the global front against authoritarianism. Could it turn into a disaster? Absolutely. If these actions weaken the global balance, allow Putin to expand his influence, or inspire other leaders to follow the same playbook, the world could see more wars, more instability, and a massive trust collapse in international institutions. Basically, Trump's unpredictable, and when it comes to a volatile figure like Putin, even one reckless move could be the spark for something way bigger. If Trump returns to power, some of his potential moves toward Russia could seriously stir up global trouble. For one, he might try pushing a peace deal that leaves Russia with land grabs, which would undermine international law and weaken Ukraine. Then there's the possibility of him weakening NATO, which would open the door for Russia to test other countries' borders. If Trump lifts sanctions or opens up economic ties, Russia could get a financial boost to continue its aggression. All of this could weaken the global response to authoritarian regimes and spark more instability. If these moves happen, it could trigger even bigger problems: more wars, more distrust, and less security for everyone. All right, guys, now that we've broken it all down, what do you think? Is Trump really playing into Putin's hands, or is he just a master strategist working to secure his own goals? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from all of you. Do you think this relationship could lead to something dangerous for the world? Or is it just a part of the political game? Let me know your take. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Stay tuned for more updates, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.